All right. Hey, everybody. We are here with Jeff Morrick doing a little Ode to Laz runner preview. So,
Right on.
how you doing today, Jeff?
Man, it's a great day. Happy to be here. Appreciate you putting me on. Before we get started, I got to shout out Monolith Trail Company and the Lincoln Running Company. They helped me get me where I am today. So, yeah, man, let's roll.
Yeah, where are you from?
I'm living in Grand Island, Nebraska, which is right in the middle of the state of Nebraska. It's a funny named city because it's neither grand nor an island, but hell, here we are.
Awesome. And how'd you find out about the race?
So his buddy of mine, Paul, who's also in the race, he's run a backyard before, and he stumbled across Ode. I think he was drawn to it mainly because it's golden ticket. And so, we're kind of, that sounds like a terrible idea. What time do we start kind of a team? So he threw it out there, and, next thing I know, we're signed up. So we're going to go try to crush it.
Awesome. So, I guess the real question is you're going to beat him, right?
Well, see, I'm this idiot that takes runners with him that are better than them. So, I'm guaranteeing myself second place because this kid can hammer. But, hell, anything can happen, and we'll just have a good time. And, we'll see what goes.
Are you bringing anybody else with you? Any crew, any friends, family?
My wonderful and beautiful bride is going to come, and she's going to crew us most of the race. Plan A is for her to do like all the daytime and into the night. She may go get some sleep when we start doing some night loops. So, when it's all said and done, one of us is coherent enough to drive home, but she'll take super good care of us. And I think we'll be in a pretty good rhythm by that time. So yeah, she's a crewing pro. She's an ultra runner too, but she's a crewing pro, and she'll give us the kick in the ass when we need it and make sure we have the stuff we need. So we're pretty lucky to have her.
Awesome. Well, there is a race on Friday night for her. We have the Vanstone Beer Mile Friday night before the real race starts on Saturday. So if she's interested, you have to tell her to come by.
Well, as long as she can do it without drinking beer, she might be a player. I'm coming up on 21 years sober, and she's about to hit 7 years in August also. So if she can do it besides drinking and beer, she might be a player.
There always is a non-alcoholic division, so we have that previously too.
Right on.
Great. So this is your first backyard ultra then, right?
Yeah, this is my first in-person backyard. There was something local similar that was supposed to happen last year, and we all know what last year was like. So a group of us, I don't remember how many, it may have been a dozen or 16 or so. We did our own quarantine backyard ultra via Zoom, and most everyone did theirs outdoors, but 3 of us did it on a treadmill at our own locations. We had just watched, I think it was Biggs that was televised, and I think the final 2, Mike Wardian was doing his outside, and I don't recall the guy on the treadmill, and they just went toe to toe. And so our theory was we're going to, let's see how well this treadmill works. So the 3 of us that were the last standing were the 3 guys on the treadmill. And then Paul and I finished, we were the last 2 to finish, aside from this other friend of ours who had 1 more loop in him. And we didn't go crazy far, but, it was my closest experience to what this might be like. I'm just kind of hoping that, I'm not the fastest guy that's going to show up out there, but I hope I'm one of the toughest, and speed doesn't really help a guy a ton here because, you got to start at an hour anyway. So as long as you can click those loops off, those yards off in under an hour and give yourself a little time to recover, I think I can fare pretty well.
Yeah, you're in first and last place at the start of every hour. So
perfect.
There you go.
Yeah, it's perfect. It sounds like life.
Yeah, I was scoping you out, checking out some ultra write-up results. Are you changing any of your training for this race specifically, or just kind of going out, your normal ultra running training style?
I haven't changed much. If anything, we went out last weekend to kind of simulate some backyard experiences. Completely self-supported on a trail that's going to be a little tougher than what I think Ode will be like. There was almost 650 feet each yard that we were doing. And we got into like the 16th hour, and we're in the mid 60s on mileage. We thought that was probably enough for a training run. I didn't know that. Rarely do I do the smart thing, but I didn't know that 100-mile training run would have, just to have a couple of weeks off would have made a lot of sense. So we sprinkled that in there, but aside from that, I'm just kind of continuing with the training that I normally do, which is really just random and whatever you have time for, we hit it.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned elevation. I guess that's a good thing to segue to. I mean, are you familiar with the O course? Do you have any insight, or has anybody given you any, information on the course?
I've seen, I think, one chart, and if my memory's true, it's like 350 per yard. And I think I saw the rolling chart a little bit. But aside from that, I haven't paid a lot of attention, and normally I don't. I mean, even when I go do hundreds, I don't really look at the map or the chart at all. I mean, I don't know that it would help me. I mean, it's going to be what it's going to be. So when I get to a hill, I climb it, so we just deal with it. I'm in maybe the flattest place on the planet in Grand Island, Nebraska. I mean, I can do a 10-mile run here and get 30 feet a gain. And that's if you're looking for it. So, I mean, we seriously, it sounds like I'm bullshit, but we have an overpass and we have a literal pile of garbage that was a result of these massive tornadoes that came to town like 30 or 40 years ago. And they pushed all the debris into this one pile and it turned into a hill. They call it Tornado Hill. That's it. So I'm driving 2-3 hours every weekend one way to get to some place where we can do a little vert training, and sometimes back and forth Saturday, Sunday, just like this weekend. So, you do what you got to do, and everybody's got reasons and excuses and obstacles. So if that's my only obstacle, that's not one. It's only one if you want it to be one.
Yeah, no, 3 hours to get some vert, that's definitely dedicated right there, especially when you don't have that close to you.
And that's the closest we have. We have to head out east, towards Iowa, and there's some pretty nice trails right there in western Iowa. And the beauty is we get to run out there with some true legends. Casey Lichtig is commonly found out there. Jody Seminel, who just finished the Cocodona 250, and she's a Moab 240. She was third place female at that race this year. So getting to share some miles with those people and learn from them, and spend time on the trail with some legends is a lot of fun. So it's 2-3 hours out there. That's nothing. It's well worth it.
Awesome. I mean, you run with them every now and then. Those ladies.
We ran with Jody this weekend both days. Casey's beyond all of our skill sets, so we get to see her on the trail as she's flying by. She's going back to West. Yeah. Hey, there's Casey. Goodbye, Casey. So she's going to Western again, and she does it. She's a pro, so wait till it's super hot to go out there to acclimate for the heat. We're trying to get out there and beat the heat, but yeah, it's fun to be on the same training course, that the real goats are on.
Yeah. Any specific strategies or sleep regimen, anything you're doing or planning to do on race day?
I'm not familiar with that S word that you said, sleeps. I don't know what that word means, so I'll just pass that. In terms of strategy, I just follow this rule: is don't be an idiot. So before I do anything, I ask myself if an idiot would do it, and if they would, I just don't do that thing. Other than that, just let the rest take care of itself.
Have you heard about how Ode has 3 different start locations? And if so, are you interested in starting at any certain one or anything like that?
I have. I saw that there were 3 locations, and I may or may not have signed up specifically for one. It seems like if there was an email that mentioned something about ease of crew, I probably picked that one to help my wife. But aside from that, I just, wherever they put me, we'll just deal with it. It's 4.165, no matter how you slice it, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I kind of go in pretty blind and just let whatever happens. And, the more I prepare and plan, it never seems to go the way that you expect it's going to anyway.
Yeah.
So let's just get there, take the blindfold off, and just beat the whistle.
Any special gear you've been testing out specifically for this kind of like, all day, keep on going type of, race style?
I mentioned that I'm not, like a blazing fast guy. And so in the hundreds that I've finished, I've been out there anywhere from 27 to 32 hours. So being on my feet that long doesn't really concern me. I think I can do that. And just having trail shoes and roadies, you know, there just in case, just to have that flexibility based on what the terrain's actually like. You know, being a relatively short yard, you know, having all the hydration packs and all that kind of stuff, I don't think I'm going to need that. I'll have it, but I'm hoping I don't need it. I'm hoping to get by with a handheld but, you know, have a backup plan in case. But, you know, nutrition and supplements and all that kind of stuff I've been working with for a while, and I feel like I have a pretty decent handle on that. Still trying to dial in having that hourly access, which of course you don't normally have. So just trying to find that sweet spot of taking in enough stuff and the right stuff and the good combination of stuff where, you know, you're not in the porta potty when the whistle blows, because I'm sure that's happened before. And, you know, just aside from that, you know, how you would think a guy would be a lot more prepared than what I am. And it's, you know, I read a thing the other day that said ultras are 90% mental and the other 10% are mental. So as long as I got whatever's under my monolith trail company hat, as long as that's, you know, focused in, we'll just, you know, pain only hurts and it all goes away. So it's fun to go in knowing that it's going to be awful and you're looking forward to that, and just to see how much of that awful you can stand more than everybody else. I mean, that's what it's all about, is being just a little bit more awful than everybody else. That's the goal. I want to run bigs.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I guess we'll transition. So we've done some data crunching over the last 2 years we've had the course. So the question is, how much have you overestimated your minimum lap goal, you think?
How much have I overestimated my minimum lap goal? I don't think I've overestimated it. Odds is 0%. I mean, 24? Is that what I said?
Yeah, I think you said 24, 25.
Yeah, I mean, and something I've probably learned since that survey was submitted, and it makes a ton of sense, is this format, which is new for me, is I don't want to have a goal. Because when I think if I have a goal and I hit it, things are going to start to get hard. And my goal is to outlast everybody else. So I don't want to get to 24 and 25 and then your brain starts to say, oh man, you hit your goal. And then it really starts to suck. So I think I can go well beyond that. I mean, I've experienced being on my feet 32 hours with no sleep. So, I mean, if I had to go another hour that day, I could have too, but the finish line was there, so I didn't have to. But that's just going to see how far we can get. I mean, it's going to hurt. So what? Yeah. It's going to hurt for everybody. And I want to go till the end. If 32 wins it, great. If it takes 60 to win it, I hope I got 61 in me.
Well, it looks like you got the right attitude. It should be an exciting race for you. Excited to see you out there. So just a quick lightning round. I asked you a couple questions, and just, first thing that comes to your mind. Your favorite band?
Pearl Jam.
Favorite ice cream flavor?
Chocolate all day.
Chatty or not chatty during race?
After a 5-hour energy, extremely chatty. In the middle of the night, I kind of turn into an isolated asshole.
Sweetest fish or Sour Patch Kids?
Jolly Ranchers, man.
Okay. Favorite donut flavor?
Favorite what?
Donut.
Oh, it's got to be just a Krispy Kreme glaze.
All right. Well, that's all I got for you, man.
Hey, right on. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I appreciate you taking your time. It's been awesome to learn about you a little bit, and I'm sure all the other Ode followers are going to learn about you a little bit more.
Yeah, right on, man. Stay ultra. Off he goes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, man.